Here with National Freestyle Coach Zeke Jones on the day of the FILA announcement regarding the changes in the rules and the weight classes moving forward for wrestling. And Zeke, let's start with weight classes. They announced 666 for the Olympic Games starting in Rio, and they've identified those weight classes. Your thoughts about how they spread those out and what effect that'll have on wrestling moving forward?
Well, first off, I think 8 weight classes is a positive, right? We're increasing the amount of people that will get to wrestle at a world championship level. We'll be growing the pool of wrestlers worldwide. For us as America, we have 10 college weights which feed directly into our national team and our World Olympic team. So, I think 8 overall is good. Obviously when we get to the Olympic year, how do we funnel 8 down into 6 will be a challenge, but the good thing is we're going to be growing our pool with those 8.
Now, do you think the athletes are going to be excited that another athlete in each style is going to have an opportunity to go to the World Championships each year?
Well, yeah, I think so. I think the guys overall like it. I think there will be people that don't like it. I think our 60 kilos aren't going to be happy because essentially that weight class, has been eliminated at the Olympic Games. So they'll have to start making some movement up and down. Of course, at the World Championship, they'll still be able to compete, and they'll have to find a way to go up and down after that. But, I think that's where we're at.
So let's talk about some rules. I mean, obviously, there were some dramatic changes from that last year's rules, which were obviously an improvement, but just a couple. 10-point technical fall for freestyle?
Yeah, 10-point technical fall. The bottom line, too, Gary, is that the rules are simpler, they're better, and the last time we changed them and now this time. We've eliminated a lot of little nuance rules. 2 3-point moves, end a match. A 5-point move, end a match. Those are gone now. 10-point technical fall, I think everybody was in agreement. We need to raise that up a little bit. We did. We eliminated the 5-count hold on when you hold someone on their back to get an additional point. Again, I think it just simplifies the rules so that people understand there's not 12 different ways to score. There are 3 or 4 or 5 different ways to score. Instead of 9 ways to win a match, now we're down to 2 or 3 ways to win a match. So the more we can simplify, I think the better. And I think these are the ones that we needed. Obviously, the other one, too, that people are talking about is the 4-point throw. The reason we did that was because of the 2-point takedown. We felt that we needed to increase the value of the throw because we increased the value of the takedown relative to the push out. So that makes sense to people. The throw should be worth more. We agree it should be worth more. So I think overall the rules are simpler and the scoring system makes more sense.
So will we see more points and will we see more action with these changes?
I think so. We saw it at the World Championship, a lot more scoring. Of course, like anything, we put new rules in, there's a lot of scoring, and then as people adapt to the rules, scoring decreases. But I don't see it decreasing by a lot because I think you have the right incentives in place by the technical fall to hustle to get to 10 points, to get off the mat quicker. Obviously, the takedown being more than the push out, that inherently is going to create more scoring. So I think we're going to see more scoring, yes.
So we've got a 1-day format still, but an earlier start. There had been discussion about 2-day formats.
Yeah.
And 30 minutes between matches.
Yeah, and 30 minutes recovery, which I think is good. I think that if we can try to wrestle those quarterfinal matches at the same time to give the equal amount of recovery heading into the semifinals, I think that's important. The 30-minute break will certainly help. They've talked about the 2-day format, and essentially what they're trying to say is we're going to a 2-day format, but before we do it, we need to know what the boundaries are. How many matches per hour, how many entries, what time the sessions start. And right now the sessions are now going to change from 10 a.m. morning first session start and a 4 p.m. second session start. So they just need to work out the math of repechage now, which is going to be anybody that loses to a semifinalist, which is new. It used to be not, those that lose to a finalist. Now it's semifinalists. So they need to work the math out. We need a tournament director who understands how bouts per hour work and the tournament format. So they just didn't want to implement that, I believe, heading into Krasnoyarsk and Yazır and Dave Schultz. They wanted to make sure that they want to do this, but they got to make sure they work the math out before they actually implement it.
So nobody's real happy with just 666 at the Olympics. And by going to 8 at the World Championships, does that give us an opportunity to prove to the international sports community that well, maybe we need to bring wrestling back up in the number of weights.
Yeah, there's no doubt the technical commission that met in November made it very clear that the goal is to increase our weight classes at the Olympic Games. And they felt the way to do that was to go to this format, which is 6 Olympic weights and 2 non-Olympic weights, 8 weight categories, so that we can start to build the pool that way to show the international sport community, the IOC, and the wrestling world globally that 8 weight classes is the right amount. I don't think we're going to see it in 2016. You never know. But the goal, I know, is in their minds of the FILA folks is that, you know, start getting 8 weight classes now. That would be our goal in 2020.
Outstanding. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.